Charles, you gonna go live again?
My phone's on 1%. So.
Oh Lord, you ain't gonna plug it up.
No.
Jesus said not everybody that
oh come on, don't be difficult today.
will enter the kingdom of heaven.
Don't be difficult.
Only those through the will of the Father. And the big responsibility.
Come on up, Mr. Joe Randolph.
Friends and family and Christians.
To look cut.
People we love are doing the will of the Father.
Oh, 1%.
And we've got to do
Mine
this
does. This
day
one's
in and day
Oh,
out.
God.
My son wants to take his dog hunting tomorrow. It's his last day. He's got to go out of town. So it'll be
Come
his
on
last
in,
day of
tune
hunting.
in, tune in.
Come
on, they can't see you.
Oh. Taking his dog tomorrow for one
Charles,
race.
they can't see you either. How come you can't see
Because
you?
his dog still has obedience issues.
I have my superstar here today.
Get him out.
My future leader,
Where he
future
can't get him
decision
back
maker.
in.
Hey Jim, I gotta cut it off right there.
This is what the future looks like.
Hey, we'll be
Come on
right back
in,
with
Tinker, you're
Dave,
part of the future too.
Dave Clayton from Nashville
Come on
Awakening.
in, Joe. Say hi.
Underground
The future.
civilization
The future.
of the North American continent.
It's coast to coast
Someone walk in?
Overnight
every night.
on
You got 30
WGNS
seconds.
Murfreesboro.
We ain't got that long.
It's in the parking lot for that provides an unedited, uncensored, and an informative platform for teens to discuss with their peers, mentors, and professionals the many choices and challenges they encounter daily. The valuable purpose and vision of the shift is to discuss life-changing topics, issues, and consequences that are pertinent to today's youth. Many teens are seeking answers to difficult questions to make difficult decisions. And The Shift is the talk show aimed to address positive solutions to their questions, their concerns, their challenges, and their fears. The Shift. Let's get ready. Let's change. Let's shift.
Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to the Shift Teen Radio Show, and I'm your host, Sanji Newman. And today we're talking about conflict resolution. Well, back in my day, they used to call it squash and beef. Y'all still call it that? It's still, I didn't want to date myself, but how do you resolve conflict? You know, there's so much conflict in the world. There's religious conflict. There's political conflict. There's government. It's just, there's so much conflict going on. But for you guys, for teens, how do you squash beef? How do you resolve conflict? Go ahead, Charles, start.
How do we resolve conflict? Most of the time, if it depends on like what type of like argument it is.
Okay.
Like most of the time we have to, if it's like serious, we have to like fight it out.
Oh, okay. See, now that's what I'm saying right there. Why do you have to fight it out? It's because, come on, Ella, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to disagree. Sometimes we can agree to disagree. But why? Because I did see some statistics, and it says 33% of teenagers say when they're angry, they feel like the resolution is to fight it out. Okay. And then a lot of them say if they don't fight it out, they feel like they're less of a man. So tell me, why do you feel the need that you have to resolve a conflict or a disagreement with someone with physical altercation?
Maybe they said they feel like less of a man because like if a dude press up on you and like you back down, it makes you do look like less of a man. It makes you look like a punk, to be honest.
What you want to say, Caleb? You agree with that?
I mean, well, I'm much of a man, so I'm gonna walk away from the situation.
Okay.
You go left.
If it goes left, what does that mean?
If it goes left, it can lead to violence, and violence don't get us nowhere.
Very, very true. Because, you know, a conflict is usually conflict when two people disagree on something. You know, that's the problem. When people, come on in here, Ella, when people disagree with something, but you, like both of you said, if it's going to test your manhood, I guess, that's when it leads to violence. But we have so much violence among teens today. There's too much violence. And it seems like small incidences, small disagreements become something major. And it usually involves many different people. So what's the problem? Why do you guys, something so small as in, I don't know. Just, it seems like small things are blown up and becomes disastrous.
I mean, if it's like a small situation, it really shouldn't even mean much.
Okay.
Because like, if they're just talking about like, oh, your shoes or something, like, it really doesn't matter.
Or even what about if somebody said something? You said this or he said that, or a lot of he said, she said. You see what I'm saying? Come on here, up here, Ella. A lot of, somebody said this or somebody said that. It's a problem. It causes a problem.
But that's the stupid stuff, though. That's
absolutely.
like, they're arrogant. They're just arrogant.
Absolutely. And then sometimes I've seen it even when, like, well, the people I hang around, they don't like another group of people, and then it causes a big problem. Now, what about that? Go ahead.
About that, I don't really know. But, like, I'm like, for my people that I'm with, I'm gonna, like, if they're in a situation, I'm gonna stand with them because I reside with them.
Does that have something to do with loyalty?
No,
See, go ahead.
I don't like that one because what they got going on ain't got nothing to do with you or me. Yeah. It's like you gotta be yourself. You feel me? Mm-hmm. This situation might lead to something else and get you in trouble. Mm-hmm. You your own person.
So, I mean, I see where you're coming from that, but like I'm talking about, like if it's really their situation, I get brought into it because of like some
affiliation.
Not even that, because people like running their mouth about people that they hang out with too.
But what do you mean?
Like, so if someone's beefing with someone, the other person's gonna bring up like their friends and like bring them into it. So it's not really just their situation.
So if two people have a conflict, they bring in the other people that they're associated with. Is that what you're saying? What you want to say, Daniel?
Not the other people. I'm talking about like the opposition, basically like the other side.
Oh, okay.
Brings in your friends.
Okay.
Because like they're trying to rile y'all up, basically.
Because I know a lot of times, because see, sometimes when you guys make these split decisions and it leads to conflict, it can mess up your entire life. You see what I'm saying? You end up in a fight, or someone gets hurt, or someone gets killed, and now you see yourself in a position where you can be locked away 10, 20, 30 years. And you look back on it and you say, oh my goodness, if I had only thought before I reacted. You know, because the best way to resolve conflict is to talk it out one-on-one, believe it or not. If you have an issue with the person, say, listen, yo, can I talk to you? You want to say something about conflict resolution? Because I'm not sure if teens today know how to resolve conflict besides being violent.
Yes, man, you right. People, we don't know how to resolve conflict because every time there is conflict, they either bring in guns. I ain't got no problem with fighting, but every time we get the beefing with somebody,
it's like y'all don't fight no more. Do people fight anymore?
I mean,
huh?
Yeah, there's still a lot of fights. There's still a lot of fights, but it's like other stuff too.
People scared to take their loss.
You're scared, and it's okay to lose. Everybody has lost at least once, and it's okay to lose. But it seems like, I don't know if you guys feel like it takes something from you, but in other words, I mean, I see so much conflict, and it resolves in violence, and I mean serious violence. People being put out of school, people being sent to alternative schools, and sometimes people being killed. Yeah. So let me know, what do adults need to do, teachers, parents, counselors, preachers, what do we need to do in reference to teaching you how to resolve conflict effectively? Go ahead. Because, I mean, there's a lot of violence. You see gang violence, and even if they don't call themselves a gang, when you're a group of guys and you act the same way, you dress the same way, people affiliate that with gangs. Believe it or not, they do. And it's like, well, you know, my crew, we don't mess with your crew, and we're going to meet up at the park. You know, I know about the park. You know what I'm saying? We're going to meet up at the park, and we're going to fight it out. But how do you resolve it before it gets to that? Go ahead, Donnell. You want to say something? How do you resolve it? Well, what do you do?
The way you could resolve it, I mean...
Have you ever had a situation like that? Either one of you? Yeah. And how did you resolve it? Fighting.
Yeah.
It ended up in fighting.
Me, I'm not much of like a talking person. It's
okay.
Like, that's just my attitude, though.
Okay.
I'm not much of a talking person. So.
Okay. But what do you want to say about this generation? Go ahead.
Well, you know, for me, you know, I'm 41 now. Mm-hmm. You know, I was taught, it came from my teaching. I was taught that you let them get away with it one time, they're going to try it again. Mm. So really my upbringing was a little wrong. If you got a reputation that stands a standard, he's not the one to mess with, and someone cross you, you feel like you got to hold on to that standard. But now I realize me holding on to that standard, the consequences took me farther than I wanted to go and kept me longer than I wanted to stay.
Oh, wow.
So it's all about, are you willing to deal with the consequences that follow it? So I have learned that you have to study the consequences more than the choice.
Yes.
And tell you the truth, being a man, they always said walking away. But I'm like, how is it being a man walking away? But now I understand where they're coming from, because you still able to stand and be that man, because behind bars, someone else gonna tell you what to do. You're not your own man.
Wow.
Or if you're in the grave, you're over with.
Absolutely.
Just like the kids the other day, I was thinking, how would I feel if I would have received the 40 years that was offered to me when I was 18? I was offered 40 years in prison. But by the grace of God, I ain't do 40 years in prison. So the consequences is the main thing that I believe that we need to start teaching our youth. To hold up, wait, pause for a minute. Where's this gonna take me? Is it even worth me even going here with them?
Absolutely. So what he's telling you is that to think first. Think about, what is this going to cost you? You understand? Because I know you guys said, well, he's testing my manhood. I'm not a man, so I don't. Come on in here, Ella. You're on the women's side. So in reference, have you ever had conflict?
Yeah.
And how did you resolve it?
Kind of just forgot about it and moved on.
Just moved on. Because a lot of times, guys, you guys make something that's really not that important to your existence affect you and affect your life. You understand what I'm saying? Because, you know, you make that decision to do wrong, and like he said, there's a consequence you have to pay. So, and throughout life, you're going to always have conflict. Always. You're going to always disagree with someone. It may be on your job. It may, wherever. You're going to always have conflict. So you need to know how to resolve things effectively. So you said you walked away from your whenever conflict.
Because it wasn't worth to waste my time being mad about stuff.
Waste your time being mad. And anger takes a lot out of you. You see what I'm saying? Anger takes a lot out of you. So you have to watch. It's best really to really think before you react. Do you think you guys take that time? Come on up. Young people, do you think you take time to say, well, wait a minute. Let's think. You and your boys, you're like, well, let's think about this, y'all, before we go meet up at the park. Go ahead.
Well, knowing me, no, ma'am, I don't think before I react. Because, like, when I'm mad, I don't care. Like, I don't care about what you say. Like, I don't care about, like, I don't even think about your feelings. I think about, like when I'm mad, I'm real selfish. I don't care about your feelings and then. So
that's a lack of respect then, right? Because you're mad. You know, so you're so angry, you don't care about what anyone else thinks, you don't care about their feelings, but you're really affecting you. You see what I'm saying? Because you're so angry that you can't see, let me deal with this. And it's really not about the other person's feelings, believe it or not. This is really all about you. Yeah, and I believe in self-defense, but sometimes, what do you want to say? You just need to walk away.
See, what I just got from that, he realized that he get angry, right?
Uh-huh.
So now you can understand how to also back out of it and how to control that anger. The only way to control something is when you get understanding over it. You already know once you're mad, you don't care about nobody, this and that. So now it's time for you to examine yourself of what takes you there. So it's time to examine thyself when you're in that position. Trust me, I've been there many a times, you know, from shootouts and everything. And
do any of you examine yourselves when you get mad and say, why am I really this mad? Or do you know what makes you mad and how to avoid that? Charles, go ahead.
I mean, like, I think a lot, even when I'm mad. But, like, at the end of the day, it's like, to the point where sometimes I get too mad, I can't control it.
Okay.
But, yeah, I realize everything, and, like, I notice, like, a lot of stuff, even when I'm mad, and that's, like, I don't even know.
So do you know what triggers you?
Yeah.
And do you know how to avoid those triggers? You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
how do you
avoid it? Because they don't know how to avoid it. So that's what makes me mad.
Oh, so other people are triggering you.
Yeah.
So then you know how to avoid them then. You know, so that's a simple solution. So you just avoid them. What do you want to say? Because you're the one to say you get mad and you can't control it. So how do you avoid people? How do you avoid people not to make you mad like that? How do you avoid that? And how do you stop it? Because only you can control you. You can't control anybody else. Do y'all understand that? You can only control what you do. You have absolutely no control of anyone else. People can say whatever they want to say, but it's up to you how you're going to what? React. You understand what I'm saying? And so when people say things to you, and like you say you get mad, you say, you know what? I'm going to keep it moving because I'm not going to let you take me there today. You see? Go ahead. So you said you get mad, you got to learn how to control. So you know what triggers you, right?
Yes, ma'am. So
how, like he said, how are you going to learn how to cope with those triggers? Because people, listen, even when you're an adult in the workplace, people are going to always throw triggers at you. Come on in here, Miss Contento. Where are you? People are going to always throw triggers at you or know how to push your button. But you need to learn how to effectively manage that. You see? how to manage that. And then you need to teach the people that you're around how to manage that. Because like I told you guys before, y'all are the future what? Leaders. You understand? Y'all are the future leaders.
I like that, future leader, because if you hold a high standard, honestly, I always carried a high standard in the streets. And when I begin to change, people begin to be like, man, I should have been like that a long time ago. And when and people respect you real. The guys who think they hard, they really ain't hard. Trust me. Those are the ones that crumble. When they get to I seen brothers come to prison, 19 years old, got 70 years. As soon as they get there, they crying. And what they do, they join a gang.
And it's too late then.
And then see that what they continue to do is dig deeper ditches for themselves. So we got to learn how to not dig deeper ditches for ourselves.
Yes.
And the energy that you can put in being angry, brother, put into being positive.
Yes.
I promise you, the outcome be a whole lot better.
And there's gonna always be. Go ahead.
Well, for the people at home, because I know people are listening, they're probably thinking like, well, not everybody has the same mentality as us. Somebody's being misled right now.
Absolutely,
Exactly.
absolutely.
So
You're
they're
right.
not on the same path as we are.
So guess what? Then that makes y'all the leaders. How about that? You understand? So when you see some of your friends going down the wrong path, you're the what? The leader. So you don't want to say, yo, listen, let's not even handle it that way. Does that make sense?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what I mean? You be the one to say, guess what? We're not going to... Go ahead, Ms. Contento. What do you want to
Well,
say?
I just wanted to comment on the word anger. As an educator myself, I see a lot of anger in these students in the hallways. And I was just wondering if you guys, when you guys react in anger, do you guys ever think after? When you're dealing with the consequences, do you ever say, oh man, I wish I didn't do that. I wish I didn't say that.
What do you say? Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. I do think about that, Miss Contento. But, like, me, it's like, I hate this about me. Like, I hate it so much because, like, I can hold a grudge. And that's one thing I want to change about myself. But it been, like, I've been working on that for so long. And it just, like, I started to give up because it just feel like I can't. Because, like every time I get mad at somebody, like, I can always stay mad at that person. And no matter how bad I want to forget them, it's like, I always hold that grudge. And that's
but you understand how that grudge eats you? It eats at you? You see what I'm saying? Because it's not affecting that person at all. You understand?
What I want to say is you can still forgive somebody, but just don't forget. That's something I've learned. Just forgive, don't forget.
I was always taught this. My homeboy always said, I ain't let nobody live rent-free in my mind.
Well, there it is.
So what's happening, they living rent-free in your mind. They ain't worth it. They living rent-free. It costs to live. You know what I mean? Rent costs, but they living rent free.
So you holding that anger in you, you know that they're taking a piece of you, and they're still. What do you want to say? And they're still. Go ahead.
Whenever like she said something about like, do you think afterwards? I don't know. Like it's like the type of person I am. When I get mad, I like I laugh when other people get mad.
Okay.
So like whenever I do get in trouble and like. It's just like, I don't know why, but it's funny to me when I do get in trouble. I don't know why. I can't stop it. It's just funny to me when I get in trouble. That's like why I get in trouble so much.
Okay, but you know it's not funny, right? And maybe that is a coping mechanism that you're doing because it's a serious situation. You see what I'm saying? And it's going to take some time from you. And the older you get, you'll see it's not a laughing matter. Because God forbid, what if you do something, get in trouble, and get 15, 20 years in jail? Now you got 20 years to laugh in a cell. You understand what I'm saying? And so you don't want to do that because sometimes we do cope with that. There's a coping mechanism. That's how you deal with it. But as you mature and become a man, then you handle things in a manly way. You see what I'm saying? You say, guess what? It takes a lot for a person to say they were wrong. You know how much it takes? It takes a lot. That's a man who can step back and say, you know what? Guess what? I'm wrong. I was wrong what I said. I was wrong how I reacted. That takes a lot of courage.
Well, to me, that's called setting yourself free. When anytime that you admit where you was wrong, you set yourself free. Because if you don't, when you hold on to something, you're still bound. But it's gonna take you to set yourself free.
And in the Bible, Ephesians 4:31 says, people are bitter, they're angry, they're full of wrath, but put that away from you. Do you understand? That anger eats at you. Anger eats. Go ahead. You want to say something, Ellen?
I wanted to say about grudges, because life is so short. Is it going to be worth it on your deathbed to sit there and think about that time you spent being mad at
Thinking
somebody?
about being mad at that person. And that person is going on with their life, going on with their business, and you're still mad. You're still stuck in the bitter mad zone, and that person has gotten better. While you're still bitter, guess what? That person has gotten better. So you used all your energy and all that anger. Is it really worth it? That's what I say. Is it really worth it?
No,
You
man,
see what I'm saying?
it's not worth it. But like the way I think about it is, it's like I'm mad at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like I'm like, when you're not around, I'm not even thinking about it. But as soon as I see you, like that's when I like.
When they take something from you,
it rises.
It rises up. It takes something from you. And the word of God in Matthew 18 verse 15 says, if your brother sins against you, if they do something against you, and it's his fault, go between you and him alone. You understand? You guys like to have a crowd. They love to have a crowd. You see it at school all the time. Oh, they get ready to fight. Here's everybody running to the fight to see some entertainment. You understand?
Attention.
Seeking for attention. You know? But it takes a man to say, guess what? Can we talk?
Pull you to a side.
Yeah. Can we talk? I have a problem. Can we discuss this? And if that person can't discuss it, go on about your business. It's okay. Because you were the man that said, I tried to talk to you. I tried to squash it. I tried to resolve it. You didn't want to, but I'm done with it. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going to leave it alone. I'm done with it. You see what I'm saying, guys? And that's what you have to, because you're going to be men. And sometimes you may own companies, and you may have people working for you or working with you that you disagree with. That your personalities don't click. Yeah, and that happens. A lot of personalities just don't click. But that doesn't mean that we have to be at each other all the time. We don't have to continuously be in conflict just because we can't, just because we can't get together and come and communicate. Because we can't communicate, that does not mean that we have to be in conflict. And now, what about conflicting with your parents? Any of you ever conflicted with your parents? Go ahead.
Many a time.
Many a time. Many a time. What about you, Donnell? You ever conflicted with your parent?
Yes, ma'am.
And what was the resolution to that? I want to hear that. And you can speak too. Because I was a teen once. I had many conflicts with my parents. I've been there. But go ahead. You go first and then you go.
A butt whooping. You know?
Well, okay. What about you?
Nothing but yelling and hollering for no reason.
Most
of the time.
Who's yelling and hollering for no reason? The parent?
The parent.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. Go ahead.
When you're a teenager,
you
have this thing in you where you just want to rebel all the time.
Yeah.
So they can be yelling and doing all that, but the whole time they think you listening, you really not.
You shaking your head, yeah. Okay, well, I'm gonna come back to that. What about you, Charles?
So like, I don't try to get like disrespectful with my mama. So like, whenever like we be arguing and like she gets me like to the mad to the point like I can't cuss her out.
Got that right.
So I just go to my room and I get so mad because I want to cuss her out, but I can't. So I just like cry whenever I. Argue
So
with my mom.
let me ask y'all.
I can't lie. I cry when I argue with my mom.
Okay, you should, and you should, because guess what? You saying all that yelling and screaming, and you saying disagreeing, and you saying butt whooping. Yeah, your parent is trying to tell you what's best for you because they've been there. There's something called experience and maturity. Something that you have. I know, this generation, you think that you know everything and you've been through everything, but let me just tell you this, you haven't. You understand? And that's where wisdom comes in. And so when your mom or your dad is trying to tell you, don't go to that party. No, you can't go to that party. No, you can't go there. No, you can't. It's for your best because we've been there. Do you guys understand that? You may not see it now, but trust me, and I don't know of any parent that just yells for no reason. Come on in, Ella. I don't know, Caleb, any parents that get up in the morning just yelling for no reason. It's usually because of something that you've done or have not done. And the parent is disappointed. As a parent, we want what's best for our children. And when you're not listening, that's what leads to yelling. Do you understand that? See, if I say, clean up your room, Ella, the room's still not clean. Ella, clean up your room. You understand? Why are you yelling? Well, I've had to tell you 4 times. You understand? So, when it gets to the yelling, that's because I've tried to communicate and you haven't heard. Because you said y'all don't hear. You just said that.
real quick. See, my kids are adults now. And my son, he's already incarcerated. You know what I mean? He young. My daughter, so everything that my parents trying to tell me not to do, now I'm doing the same thing with mine. You know what I mean? I'm suffering the weight. Now I see how my mom feel every time she had to come see me locked up. You know what I mean? Every time the police come to my mama's house, kick the door down and things like that. You know, now I see how I feel for myself. It's not a good feeling. What my mom was trying to do, she's just trying to tell me, baby, it's the wrong route. And so when I was in prison laying down, I'm like, everything mama said, you know, now I'm suffering it. You know, mama got her best interest in me. She loves me. And anyone who don't discipline their kids, they allow them to do what they want to do.
That's the problem. That's the problem now. That's the problem in our communities, in our homes, and in our schools. Lack of discipline in the home. Now, I completely agree with that, because a lot of people say, oh, it's the teens. But what did the parents teach? You understand? Because when you're a parent, you're a mentor. You're not a friend, and you're not a peer. You understand? You are there for guidance, for discipline, and for demonstration.
Exactly.
That's what a parent does. So I just want to say that to all the parents. The reason our schools are out of control and our communities, it starts at home.
Yeah, real quick. That's 100% true. But when I got out of the sight of my parents, it was all on me. I was the one who made my parents' raising look bad. It wasn't them.
I understand.
Because it was the choice that I made.
And it is all about the choice. But when you've been taught what to do and what not to do, like the word of God says, you'll come back. You may stray, but you'll come right back to the truth. You understand? You'll come right back to the truth. What do you say, Ella? You were going to say something? Okay. So, go ahead.
I didn't, what I was showing that I didn't honor my parents' raising.
Wow.
When I learned to honor my parents' raising, now I'm trying to get mine to honor my raising.
And that's about, like last week, about respect. Respect. And you guys all talk, oh, I want to be loyal. I'm loyal to this and I'm loyal to that. You got to watch what you're loyal to. Do you understand? Because some of these things and friends that you're loyal to, they don't mean you any good. Loyalty is not love. Let me just say that on the radio right now. Because some people are loyal to the wrong things. And you're setting yourself up for serious trouble. You see what I'm saying? So we just got to learn how to come together and communicate. And you're going to always have conflict, guys. You're going to, on the job, you may have conflict at school, and conflict with your parents, but you need to know how to manage it effectively. You understand what I'm saying? Positive conflict resolution. You don't always have to fight it out. You don't always have to kill each other. You don't always have to gangbang. You don't always have to do this and do. Learn how to manage conflict. And that's a part of maturity. You want to say something? Say something? Come on up here. So what about you and your anger? What you going to do? What you going to do about that anger when a conflict comes up, Donnell? Because you're a good guy. All of you guys are wonderful. That's why I have you here.
And even when you figure it out, just to start to figure out something will motivate you to work on your anger.
Absolutely.
But if you don't ever say something that if you don't never light the fire, it ain't gonna burn. So right now you need to light a fire in your life that's gonna help you control your situation. And over everything, get understanding. Me checking you out as a cat from where I came from, you know, you're a trendsetter. What I mean, you truly are a leader. Every one of you are.
Yes, they are.
You know what I mean? But in order to be the true trendsetter, you gotta have victory in your choices. See, we don't call, you know, everything you done in the past. Don't look at it as a loss. We call them L's. We call L's lessons.
It wasn't a loss; it was a lesson. You see what I'm saying? And we've all learned lessons. But you guys have to go out there in the schools. You guys have to go out there in the community. And when you see your peers going wrong, your friends, or what, say, listen. We're not going to handle it like that. You understand what I'm saying? Because that can put us in a bad situation. And then when the police come or administration comes, then you're the victim. But it doesn't work like that. You know, go ahead.
I may say something.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to lead back to what you said, what would be your motivation of it. I'm not doing it, but my motivation would be not to die. You feel me?
Oh, I know that's right.
I done seen death around the corner plenty of times. I buried my best friend last year, Jay Sean Taylor. It's a cold game out here, and these people are not really your friends, and you have to learn how to control your emotions. He got into a fight, and that fight led to him losing his life.
My God.
Weeks after the fight.
Weeks after.
Best friends.
Still holding on it.
Yes, they was best friends. And he went to that man's house thinking that they done made up, and that man shot him. Shot him with a shotgun.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Now, see, that brings tears to that hurts my heart. It brings tears to my eyes. And see, that's something, that's a grudge. It was held on to. You see what I'm saying about holding on to things, and it led to someone dying.
You gotta watch what you're pregnant with. He was pregnant with that.
You understand?
I call it pregnancy.
You gotta watch what you hold in you. Is what he's saying.
It'll produce birth.
Because you don't want it to manifest. You see what I'm saying, guys? So, guys, you are the leaders. Y'all are the leaders. That's why you're here. You're leaders. And you've all been through something. We've all been through something. We've all made mistakes. But we learn. We take that L. It ain't a loss. It's a lesson. How about that? You didn't take a loss when you walked away from that fight. That was a lesson. Because I'm not going to let you take me there. You understand? I'm not going to let you mess up my life. I'm not going to let you, I don't want to pay that cost. You're not worth that cost. How about that?
Bro, just look at it like this. You too big to be surrounded by them people anyway.
Yes. Yes. And when I saw you a couple weeks ago in the hallway and something happened and you walked away, you may not remember, but I remembered your face. And I said, I need to talk, because that younger man is a leader. I said, now he's a leader. But we're getting ready to run out of time. Is that true? We're almost out of time. We're going to wrap up. I just want to say Matthew 5:19 said, blessed are the peacemakers. You guys are the peacemakers because you're our future. And I believe in you. You hear me? So until next time, goodbye from the Shift Team Radio Show. Woo! That was quick.
I know, it does go quick, and I've just been sitting here.
Why y'all so quiet today? Y'all sleepy? Y'all sleepy?
This one didn't want to get up.
Oh, I can tell he's sleeping.
Yeah, maybe tonight, I don't know.
Yeah, what's going on?
I know, I got a call.
Okay. Hey, y'all. Come on, y'all. Come on. Oh, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Donnell. Hey, I want to take pictures, guys. I want to take pictures. Hey, guys. Say, hey, Ella. Ella, why didn't you jump in and say a lot more?
What?
Why didn't you jump in?
She said she wanted to, but she didn't know how to get, like...
Just jump in, honey. Just jump in.
Because that happens every time, I think I just have stuff to say now.
Guys, I want to take pictures. Gotta take another picture. I don't know. Oh, okay. Come on. I want a picture of my kid, my wonderful leaders of tomorrow. That's who these guys are. Stand behind me, guys. They're leaders. That's Caleb, Mom. Come on, Contento, get into the picture.
So you said the
All right,
kid.
I'm gonna how do you log off this? You just push end, huh?